And now we're at the start for the Fawley. St Andrews in the blue and Clare's Court School closer to the bank there, cleanly away. The Fawley is the junior men's quads event. And these crews, in contrast to the last race with 30 different Henley appearances between them, these crews have virtually no Henley experience between them. So it's a first and a tricky start on the left-hand side.
St Andrews seem to have got a very clean start. They seem to slowly edge into a lead as they went down the island when we had the view from the rear. Might have been tempting the umpire to warn them, but they're back on their correct lane now. And they look to be slowly drawing away into a nice lead.
Yeah, I think they took advantage there, didn't they, of the steering challenges faced by their opposition, and they're now looking to try and stretch out, get a little bit more length. So the first part of the course, we're always seeing slightly shorter strokes. You're intent on getting a large number of strokes in a short period of time, get the boat from 0 to maximum speed. And now you stretch out as we join the crews midway through the course. And it looks like you can see immediately the contrast, can't you, between the higher stroke rate now to the middle of the course, where you've got to be able to sustain it through the middle. St Andrews looking a bit more together, a bit more comfortable, but they have no comfort that they've got the result in the bag just this stage.
And both crews are sculling at the same rate. They may be taking 34 or 35 strokes a minute. But that St Andrew crew looks like just a little bit more length, a little bit more time. They seem to be more fluid, and that boat just cutting really smoothly through the water. That's lovely to watch, really rhythmical. They're all moving together.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's the most poetic boat to watch, the quad, when it's well drilled like this. And it's great to see St Andrew Boat Club. It's their first time qualified for Henley. So a lot of excitement here, and so far they are taking the chance to be at Henley by the scruff of the neck, and they've got a really, well, a lead that looks like it's growing with every stroke, I'd say. Look at the way they're just pushing the boat along, Jim. Extra cover, that's the gap between the oar going in and the puddles disappearing behind. Every stroke pushing it through the middle of the course, often the dead zone, as we hear the crowds in Remenham start to yell in their appreciation.
I think it's really special to watch that St Andrew crew, is the way that boat doesn't check. It's just gliding through the water. We shouldn't take it away from Clare's Court. They're a good crew, new to the regatta, as you said, Matt. Two of them is their very first Henley. Sorry, three of them rather. One of them has rowed before in the past.
Yeah, Clare's Court we've seen many times at Henley, and often producing brilliant sculling, and absolutely you can see how well drilled for young athletes with not too many years experience. This is really great quad scull rowing in both crews. Both boats performing well in tricky, windy, swirly river conditions. As we look from above though, let's have a look at that St Andrew crew in the front of our picture.
Moving together. If you look at the front of the bows of the boat, it's not checking when you put the blade in the water. It's smooth and running, and this is good practice then. They've got quite a big task of Leander tomorrow in the draw. They're one of the selected crews, but I think they'll give that Leander crew a race to the money.
One thing I'd like to point out here is that rowing is not all about the exertion in the water. It's also about what you do when your oars are not in the water. So you actually want, as you were pointing out, you want the boat to really flow. You need to move in such a way that the boat just slides underneath you, rather than the weight of the athletes pushing backwards, which would push the boat down in the water, slow it. You want to just sit there and let the boat run underneath you and take the next stroke, and they're doing that really well. That's the efficiency that's producing a boat that's sitting flat. Flat is fast, just like in sailing.
And the word efficiency used, Matt, is that's the key, isn't it? Minimum effort for maximum run of the boat.
Well, we all like to row like that. It's a bit like if you play golf and you're not a rower, there are sometimes those strokes you take when you're like, that is how it's meant to be done, and you're always searching for the same thing in rowing, that easy flow, the feeling of the return you get out of each stroke, the athletes working really well together, and you particularly see that in the quad, because discrepancies are amplified when you've got those oars so close together, so many oars. You don't want to be like a spider. You want to look, as we do here, as though there's one athlete. Look at that, beautiful rowing, moving up and down the boat together, the oars in sync, the boat surging forward but not bouncing particularly, even in the swirling water.
Your analogy of a golf swing is a very good one. If you try and hit a ball too hard, or you lose your technique and you won't go very far, but if you take it nice and relaxed and fluid, moving together in one constant motion, just as this crew are, they're beautiful to look at.
So 7 of the 8 athletes here making their first appearance at Henley in the St Andrew Boat Club, the first appearance for the club at Henley, and in the first round of the Fawley Junior Men's Quads. This has been a great display from both crews of technical quad rowing. a strong display from St Andrew in their first appearance as they approach the line victorious in the first round of the Fawley. So a great win for St Andrew over Clare's Court School, and some young athletes get some great experience and hopefully a taste of the excitement of racing at this beautiful regatta in the golden evening light. Well done to both crews.